Shalom, Israel. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to all the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts day in and day out. Shalom to you. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, and the speckled bird, the small remnant that was dispersed across the four winds that look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Okay, so today's video will be about talks of peace and safety. As you're hearing here in the latest news of geopolitical or warfare, as always over there in the Israel, and Palestine. Okay, this has been going on for a long time. And we also know that we are living in those days where we have to be very, very circumspect, right? We have to be the watchman, constantly watching, because this could ignite any day now, right? We can't underestimate the magnitude of a problem that is going to be across the four winds of the world, okay? Starting with the nation of Babylon here, spiritual Babylon being America, being spiritual Egypt and Sodom as well, okay? Through prophecy, we know that this is spiritual Babylon here, okay? So let's get started here. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, and that's what you're hearing a lot right here lately in the last 4 days. You heard DJ trying to be the peacemaker, the smooth criminal. Hey, I got this. Don't worry, I'm gonna go over there, thinking he could use his buttery words to somehow stop the prophecy of Scripture. Okay, and this goes to furthermore improve that they've been knowing for the longest, and now not only do they know, but they know that we know, right? The true men who serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, okay, to the fullest extent without no biases or being compromised, right? So that is the scary thing that they are feeling right now, because even though we know as heathens, they don't really 100% believe, right? They weren't given the zeal. They weren't given the breath of the Holy Spirit to comprehend it fully like the true men of the Lord, right? They're not the hopeful elect. But they do have their sorcerers, their so-called wise men that give them this information, okay? So they are aware and they believe some things, but they're very narcissistic in their own beliefs, right? Because they're the heathen. They're not going to hearken into the 100% truth, but more and more and more, they're getting evidence of the true men, okay? Starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Of course, we do understand and know there are some hopeful elect amongst other camps, right? Through the Spirit, we understand that there are brothers out there that are going to be part of the elect, okay? And they're bringing this 100% truth out as well, okay? So, like we just got done reading, peace and safety is what DJ's harping on, right? Because ultimately they know what the real men have been saying, right? They know that the third woe is coming, and that's going to be the destruction of Babylon the Great, okay? Of their whole empire. They are aware of that, but still they're not going to be able to stop prophecy, Okay. And it's going to come upon them like a woman in travail, right? As travail upon a woman with child. And anybody that knows that, especially women, that a woman giving birth to a child is the most painful thing that they have to experience in order to give birth, right? So that's how painful it's going to be, and it's going to come in spurts all of a sudden, just like a woman in travail, okay? And birth pains. And they're not going to escape, how it says there in the scripture. They're not going to escape from this pain, right? We're not going to escape. Starting with Babylon the Great, it's going to feel that pain, and it's going to be led by these small hats, which are the Amalekites, okay? If you could receive it in spirit, okay, we know that the small hats are the Amalekites, and they all are the nation of Edom as well, okay? Let's go here to Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Right? We know the Chaldeans are Edomites as well. Okay? The Romans, the Chaldeans, they are the Romans. They are the Edomites. They are the Chaldeans. All of them collectively come from the nation of Edom, right? Edomites, which go back to Esau. Okay? Therefore ye hear the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had proposed against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay, and this least of the flock is talking about the small hats. Okay, the small hats are the least. They're the smallest Edomite nation out there, and those are the ones that are gonna draw them out. Meaning they're going to lure them into this woe 3. Okay, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Okay, so not only is he gonna make their own habitation over there in Israel desolate, but he's going to make Babylon here, the Americas, desolate with them as well, right? And this is why you're seeing a lot of the support for that nation over there, the small hats, has decreased throughout the years, right? Big time, because this truth has been coming out. And it's been exposing them, and they've been exposing themselves, to be honest. All the wickedness is just unbearable for people not to see. It's very obvious. But, in reality, Babylonians over here, they know when their empire is being threatened and their safety and peace is threatened, they don't want no parts of it, okay? And that just goes to show the betrayal amongst their own nations, right? And how they are all about themselves and only about the safety and peace of their own nation, right? They know this through prophecy that the third woe will be inflicted is going to be drawn in by them, right? The elites know it, and now a vast major group of people know this, right? There was an article I was reading earlier today where it said they did a survey on the war situation over there with the small hats and Ishmael over there, and how many Americans support the movement, right, of Israel constantly being at war. And the number came up to 14%, only 14% of the of Americans here, Babylonians, support Israel. 14%, man, only. Okay, 33% are against it. Okay, so that just goes to show that people are finding out, more and more and more, and seeing the true that mask has been exposed, right? Had made Esau bare, and really know that those people are not the true Jews of the Bible, okay? And all they do is cause corruption and warfare out there, okay? As well as them other heathen nations as well, okay? Let's go here to, and through history, we don't even need to look at now. Even through history, throughout history, you know that how the Edomites have done, man. Edomites has always been a serpent with a split tongue, right? It says one thing and has a plan on the other tongue, right? He'll say one thing but does the other, okay? And there's a long history on that, and that's why we know prophecy is going to take its course, because then people are talking about solutions. DJs talking about solutions, bringing some type of peace, But if you ever look into the articles and some of the videos they're showing of the Yahoo man about the conditions that he wants, they're just laughable, man. They're really funny, because pretty much this guy, what he was saying, which I saw this one video of him saying, he wants to disarm. That's the only way he will go through the negotiations. He wants to disarm Hamas. And in case you don't know what Hamas is a Muslim brotherhood, okay? And what it means is Islamic resistant movement, okay? So this brotherhood started in 1987, okay? And it means the Islamic resistance movement. That's what Hamas is, right? It is opposed to the existence of Israel on what it says is Palestine land. It wants a state based on Islam, Islam, and its place across the occupied West Bank, Eastern Jerusalem, and Gaza, right? So, in case you didn't know, the West Bank, it's the other state that they have, and Gaza, right? The Gaza Strip. So it wants it completely being based as Islamic, right? It wants to complete control of those two states, right? It has, however, signaled its willingness to accept an interim Palestinian state in just the West Bank and Eastern Jerusalem and Gaza, without renouncing its claim to all of historic Palestine. Okay, so they just want to be their two separate sovereign states, right? They want to have complete control, is what I've understood and read, And of course, this dude Yahoo, the Edomites that they are, they're the way they negotiate is just, man, it's just hilarious, because, pretty much he's saying that, he wants those Hamas, the Islamic resistance, to give up all their weapons, right? That, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way there's going to be peace. So, just like an Edomite, he's like, hey, man, as long as we got the gun, we good. But you got to give up your guns, right? You got to give up everything, all your rights to protect yourself. But I'm going to have all the big guns, right? And this is how they've been like that. And if you don't know this, then, man, you got to be a complete fool not to know that by now, right? So, and this is how they've done throughout the centuries, man. Let's go here to Psalms 55 and 21. Okay, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And that's how you hear this dude Yahoo talking, man. You hear him talking real smooth, man. If you ever watch these guys with their words, their buttery words. But, in reality, they got to get on the media, and they got to, put up that serpent, right? They got to put that, Salaki, I meant to say, they got to put the image of a lamb, right? Like they're soft-spoken, very civilized people, but their true intentions is war, man. They got to act a certain way, just like an actor behind the camera, say all the smooth, buttery things like, yes, We want peace. We want peace. We don't like war. We'd rather have peace. Yeah, but at what cost? They will do anything and pay anything to have it done their way. You know, and if you go into some research, you'll hear him say, everything I've been saying here. They want absolute control of the military force by, their government. In other words, they want them, with no weapons, and have political power within those two states of Palestine. Okay, and of course, I don't think they're going to do that. Right? They got to be a fool to consider that. Right? Who's going to do that? Okay, so their words, his words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords, man. So this guy's always let's go here to Psalms 55:20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Right? So these Edomites, man, they got a history. They're gonna break every treaty, every covenant they have with anybody. The Esau, even from the beginning has broke the covenant. He didn't want nothing to do with the covenant of being a true Israelite. Okay, that's why Esau sold his birthright. Okay, so this that's in his spirit, man, to be very deceitful, to be that serpent, and to be a major backstabber. Okay, he'll say one thing and does the other. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. So even if you look at the history here in North, all the Americas, man, over here, the land of Arsareth. In case you didn't know, the book of Ezra speaks on the land of Arsareth, right? Where the lost tribes came here in refuge, right? And then later on Judah, okay? He came over here talking all that peace, talking all that anti-Christian stuff, and doing the polar opposite, That's been his MO all along, man. Always. It's in his spirit to be a deceitful serpent, Even the people that are trying to be at peace with him, he'll break every treaty, man. And he just wants absolute control, because that's the devil that this Bible speaks of. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, we're gonna go here to Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right? And this is the mannerism right here, the character, the true character, the true personality of Esau, Edom. Right? They even encourage themselves to do wicked matters, man. They hype themselves up, man, as you see the political weather and temperament across the nation right now, right? They hype themselves to do evil matters, man. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them, man? Who shall see them, man? They lay out these snares. They commune privily, to go against the Israelites, right? Because even though a lot of Israelites want peace, they can't comprehend and understand that this man doesn't understand, neither wants anything to do with peace and love. Okay, he is the polar opposite of that. Okay, ever since Esau, you saw that, man. He don't want nothing to do but with the carnal things of the world, right? The fatness of the world. That's the blessing he was given, and the sword. That's all he wants. Okay? But you knuckleheaded ass black, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous are some real stubborn, really rebellious ass people as well, man. He has made himself known throughout history, right? All the way to Esau, man. I don't want nothing to do with the nation of righteousness and peace, which is the the land of Yasharallah, right? The true ancient name of Israel. Yasharallah, meaning he is the Prince of Power, right? And the power is to possess the power of the Holy Scriptures, right? And righteousness, and be the standard nation of across the whole globe, man. Okay, he don't want that, man. Okay, he don't want no liberty, no equality, man. He'll say that because we just got done reading. He's a man of buttery words, man. But yet they drawn swords. They talking all that buttery smooth shit, but yet they drawn swords. And our stupid ass people still falling for the okie doke, man. And literally these people got to go to the grave where Esau stored, stabbed in their heart, man, before they even wake up from that sleep, from that damn slumber, the spirit of slumber that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua had placed them under, man. That is a scary thing, man. That Yahweh put that spirit of slumber in them, man. And that's not only a spirit of slumber, man. That is also being marked, man. That's a way of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Look, these people are marked, man. And only if you have the spiritual discernment, you will know and recognize that, man. Otherwise, you're asleep yourself, man. If you can't see who is asleep and who is woke to this 100% true gospel, then you're more than likely under that spell, man, that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua has placed on the world and 2/3 of the nation of Yasharallah, right? Like it says in the book of Zechariah 13, 8 and 9. 2/3 of our own people, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua wants nothing to do with, man. Right? That's why he's marked them, man. He put that spirit of slumber in their ass, man. They can't see what the hell's going on. They could care less of what's going on. They are so blinded to what's coming, man. Okay? They are blinded. They want nothing to do, just like Esau, man. They want nothing to do with true peace and equality, right? To live under the true righteousness and establishment of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Wants nothing to do with that, man. Now, he'll talk a big game all day, every day, but yet they drawn swords, man. Okay, let's go to Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, man. Listen, bro. Even these damn wicked-ass heathens, man, are putting in more work than 2/3 of our people, man. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, man. Even these damn demons become diligent in their wickedness, man. If the damn devil's out there working hard, doing his diligent search to accomplish his damn sinful ways, man, and you got our damn people out there, man, doing the most outlandish, stupidest shit all through social media, man. Making it a distraction to our own people, man. But you got these devils over here plotting day in and day out, man, against the downfall of our people, man. They do diligent search, man. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, man. Right? Let's go to number 8. For they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Eventually, that is what's going to happen to these wicked ass Edomites, man. Okay, they're going to be drawn out by the least of the flock, right? If you could receive it in the spirit, okay, that's who it is, man. The least of the flock is the Amalekites, okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that. Before I go, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world. These so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America and the speckled bird. They're amongst the four winds of the world. They look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to a black, Hispanic, and Native indigenous of the America, which go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Shalom, shalom.